Welcome to Egyptian Hills RV Resort in Creal Springs, Illinois. Yes, you heard that right, Illinois. So let's get into it. So, first things first, in this video, we're going to show you around the resort. We're going to show you some campsites, including our own, and give you a sneak peek at some amenities as well. Now, one quick note, when you pull into this resort, you actually will be facing this barn, or you'll come up to this barn on your left-hand side. We're coming from the opposite direction, but you will see this barn and you'll actually pull into the parking lot behind that barn, and you'll stay there, call out to the resort staff, and they'll come pick you up. Now that is the process as we stayed at this resort back in September 2023. All right, y'all. So the first thing we're going to show you inside of this park is the standard site area. Now, the standard sites, whenever you're pulling into the park, they actually come up first thing on your right-hand side. I will admit that we were a little bit confused when we pulled in and we thought that maybe that was a tent area or something like that, but that's neither here nor there. Ultimately, this section, all gravel, and the sites, though, they're pretty wide. So this is site number 39. You can see pretty wide site, fire pit in the back. Next to site 39 here, site 40. So you can see that like all of these sites are pretty wide and pretty deep. Like I know for sure our rig would fit back here and we'd have plenty of space to park like 2 or 3 cars as well. So it is very spacious from that perspective. The one thing that I'm not sure about is the way that they've divided the site. So as you can see right now, there's kind of these large rocks on the ground, in addition to a couple of other little visual cues that kind of divide the sites. I would love to see some grass here, things like that, especially for people with pups and all of that. You might want to take your dog out for a quick potty break or something like that. So I would love to see a little bit more greenery here. But that aside, I think that this is really solid in terms of, hey, we've got an affordable way to stay at a very luxurious place, because some of the other sites we're going to show you are actually very, very, very luxurious. So as you can see, the sites on this side of this loop actually back up to the street. So that's one thing to note here too, is that you are kind of like on that main road into the resort. Not necessarily a road that most people will travel, but the road leading into the resort. Now, there are a few pros and cons about this place, but I would say that the pros far outweigh the cons. So I'm not going to really focus that much on the cons, because I think that those are things that they're already going to be working on, maybe even including like making some updates to some of these sites here as well. But the biggest thing that I think stood out for me is the actual ownership and the staff. I have never encountered such hospitality as I did at this place. So we had an opportunity to meet the owner. He's a great guy. He seems very invested in making this a place that people want to visit, that is on their list. And frankly, since we don't have very many options within the state of Illinois, and especially in this Shawnee Forest area, I think that that is a fantastic mission. This is a beautiful resort right on the water, Lake Egypt, and I really would highly recommend it in terms of, short getaway or something like that to kick back and relax. So here we are at site number 13. This is one of the premium sites here at the park. And one of the things that's nice about this is, first off, the patio is fully, like the pull-in area of the site is fully paved, but you also have this lovely paved patio with chairs and a fire pit. And what you probably can see a little bit in the background, you can see a little bit of the water back there, which is really a nice touch. And again, this is site number 13, and all of these sites are full hookup. So really nice views and overall vibe here at this site. One thing to note, these sites were actually designed for Class A owners. So your electric and other utilities are all on the opposite side of what you would expect, because they expect a pull in here. You got 30 amp and 50 amp all available, in addition to your sewer hookups, which I like the way that they built this little casing, if you will, around the sewer hookup. I think that that's a nice touch. And then you also have your water hookups here, which your water spigot is actually on the left hand side of this particular thing. And to turn the water on, you lift up that green portion and there's your water switch there. So site 13. And here we are at site 8. So site 8 is another premium site. So it is fully paved. And what we like about this is not only do you have the paved site, but you also have a paved patio. And that patio has a nice fire pit. No chairs here for this one though, so womp womp. But overall, you can see the standard sites down there in addition to the cabins. And maybe if you squint, you could see the water in the background there as well. Again, this is site number 8. All these sites are full hookup. And as you can see, we've got the electric box here, which has 50 amp, 30 amp, and 110 connections. Everything has been perfect during our stay in terms of connectivity there. You've got the box with your sewer hookups, and a little bit further down, you've got your electric, I'm sorry, not your electric, your water hookups as well. And again, it's all in that little box there. All right, y'all, we got something just a tiny bit different for you. So let's stay tuned and take a look. So as y'all know, we don't really show cabins on here, but this one, we just had to do it, okay? So first of all, this is cabin 22 here at the resort. And if you are into a rustic vibe, this one is definitely going to fit the bill. So you can see you've got everything you need in here, and it has AC. So no need to worry about being hot, because it was hot while we were there. But you do have your bed here, plenty of storage if you're bringing a lot of extra clothes and things of that nature. It's all covered here. And as you make your way down the hall, you can see that we have fully appointed bathroom. It even comes with some towels as well. So again, there's not a single thing that you might want or need here that this place is not providing, and will. And as we make our way further down, we can't forget about the kitchen. So if you've brought things, food items with you, you will be set here, okay? You probably don't have to leave. Now, if you do have to leave and get something, be aware, stores and stuff are quite a hike away, but you can see that this kitchen is fully appointed, so you do have all the stuff that you need, including, past the sitting area, a refrigerator as well. So if you need it, you can have it here. And we can't forget about rest and relaxation and lounging. You know, you have the living area here, and across from this couch, you also have a television. So not only will you be able to be appropriately entertained, but you can certainly catch up on some R&R. And then as we make our way out to the deck, now this, y'all, is the main event. So you got plenty of space to spread out here if you've got a big crew with you, just in case. So you do have a view of the cabins and the water here in the background. And this right here, y'all, this little water park is certainly the main event, and certainly a fun time for kids and adults alike. And if you brought some littles with you, or maybe just people that are fine with sleeping in loft areas, there is plenty of extra sleeping space here as well. So as you come up the stairs, you can see we've got air conditioner in addition to a couple of beds on this side. And they're like twin size beds, so they're not huge. And you don't have a whole lot of space to necessarily stand up here unless you're very short. But as you go over to the other side, you can see we do also have a loft area where you can look out to the main living area, and then you have a couple beds here as well. So super nice if you brought, again, people with you that are interested in sleeping in a loft area. Okay, y'all, so if you brought your appetite or you're feeling a little bit thirsty, and as I told you, those places to get things are a little bit of a ways away. They have all kinds of stuff here, pizza and some amazing ice cream that goes in all of these boozy shakes that you see here on the wall. They do it all in-house, y'all, and it is delicious. So I'll show you around. So right outside of that restaurant bar area, you have this nice sitting area. And the most beautiful thing about this is as we give you a full view, you can see that we have both covered and uncovered seating, and it is right on the water, y'all. Right on the water. Beautiful. Speaking of the water, so one of the perfect things that was happening while we were there is there was a wedding. And if you're looking for a great place in the Midwest to have a waterfront wedding right here on the Lake of Egypt, this is the Lake of Egypt. This is a perfect place to visit. As you can see, they have it set up beautifully. And even though our whole thing is the campgrounds and everything like that, we could not miss a chance at showing you love on the water. All right, y'all, it's time for you to take a look at our site as we always do. This is site number 22. And for reference, we have a Ford F-350 dually and a 36-foot Jayco North Point fifth wheel. You can see that we have plenty of space out in front of our fifth wheel, and we didn't actually back all the way up in this site. So that's one thing to note. This is a full hookup site, just like some of the others we showed you. You can see we've got the 50 and 30 amp in addition to 110 connections. The power was super solid throughout our stay, no complaints whatsoever. One thing that we do have a little bit of a nit about is the length of holes that we had to run to go back to our sewer connection. There was a lot of holes, y'all, not gonna lie to you. It was a lot. Our water connection, super solid pressure throughout the stay. I love the little box that they actually put the water hookups into. So that keeps things, I think, very nice and neat in case you have a little bit of drippage. But yeah, look at that. Now the gravity from the rig to the sewer inlet was pretty solid, but the distance was not favorable. In terms of our view out the back window, if you have a back window here, this is a great site because you do have that water view there. What you're not able to see is there's a nice serene little waterfall on the other side, which provides an excellent sound backdrop as you're sitting outside and relaxing. And then the last thing here we loved about this site is this little gazebo. There is a little shade that pulls down to block the sun for you. And then you have little seats in there as well. So really nice vibe overall. Well, that's it, y'all. That's the review. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss a thing. But until we see you again, make sure you enjoy staying in the RV.